our resident Brawl expert, known as Gimpyfish. You've now been able to play the game, besides Brawl. What are your thoughts now?
Just generally, the game feels like it's more complete. It's a lot different from Melee, it's a lot different from 64, same thing as E-For-All, but the game feels more complete. All the characters, I don't know, they feel really fleshed out. Everything seems to be pretty good. Some of the characters are harder and different than they were at E-For-All, like Meta Knight seemed to be a lot more difficult to use. He seemed a lot weaker. I'm sure that what happened after E-For-All, they just looked through not just my impressions, they looked through that, they looked through, the impressions of everybody and then adjusted accordingly. Because Meta Knight everybody talked Meta Knight up at E-For-All, and now he's not nearly as good. He's got a similar playstyle to them, but he's not nearly as good. It's just certain things like that have changed, but the game is great. It's so fun. It's just a great game.
Let's talk about your main Bowser. What you notice in terms of how he played, the differences between that and Melee?
Well, I mean, I wrote up a lot about how his moves act in the other one, but just initially, after playing so much Melee, he's harder to space with against other people. His ranges are all different. His grab range is different. His forward tilt's way farther. His get-up attack goes way shorter. Just little things that you need to adjust to. And I mean, I really like the way that he plays a lot. Up B out of shield is still good, but it's not quite as good. I just kind of have to learn him again, but not quite as much as I would expect from a new game. Because he's still similar. I just have to learn a lot.
Is he faster? I thought he was faster. From Melee.
Yeah. He's faster from Melee for sure. At least by comparison to the other characters. The game overall is a little slower, but Bowser's definitely faster, just compared to the other characters. The lack of no cancel is kind of disappointing because a lot of characters do have a lot of lag after some attacks. Like Bowser still has a lag issue. Ganon's lag is awful. It's pretty much unbearable. But he could still be alright. I mean, we don't really know anything as far as competitive stuff goes, but we're gonna work on it. I get to play a little bit later tonight, probably, and record some matches and stuff, and we'll see what we can do with it.
Did any of the characters stand out? Because I know a lot of people are using Snake. Is it just because he's easy to use, or is it just he's a new character?
Snake actually seemed to be really hard to use. You have to play really differently with him. A lot of it's like you lay a mine that you can remote, and you down smash, which you can lay another mine that'll blow up if somebody walks on it. You can lay those, and then you can toss grenades. He's pretty campy. Getting used to him was really hard because his smash attacks are slow. He pulls out weapons and stuff for his smash attacks. He seemed to be really difficult. I think people just liked that he was a new character.
Any other? Guys, I'm trying to think of all the characters that were in play. It just seemed like. And Romeo and Dan also talked about how the gravity has changed. Did you notice that?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, the whole physics engine is totally new. If you there's no way you can practice Melee to get good at Brawl. And some people have been like, oh well, it's floatier, everybody kind of plays like Luigi then. That's not true. It's so different. Intelligent gameplay will transfer over, obviously, but the technical aspect of the game is very much different.
Okay. And you mentioned the tournament play. We won't know yet. When will we know? Could it be a month after could it be a month after the release, or could it be a while? Because you see all these tournaments are forming for when the game comes out. Are we jumping ahead of ourselves by entering these events, or what are we seeing there?
I don't think that we're jumping ahead of ourselves as far as that goes. I mean, tournament gameplay is really what started Melee on the track to becoming what it is. When tournament play started with Melee, it was nowhere near what it is now. And then through tournament play, we figured out, rule sets that worked. We used to play with items on, and then after a very long time of reducing the number of items down to a certain number, we eventually just banned them. We just put out from the back room, Smashboard's a member of the back room, and we vote on rule sets and stuff like that. We just put out a brand new rule set for Melee, 6 years after the game came out. The thing that I'd be worried about is a lot of places are going to have tournaments and they're just going to go back to standard Melee rules. Items off, no final smashes, no, they'll ban these stages, ban that. I think the first tournament should have pretty much everything on, except for obvious stuff, like you don't want healing items, you don't want Starman. Spicy Curry was just obviously broken from E for All and now. Certain things you won't want on, but like, the thing that I'd be worried about with having tournaments right away is that people are going to go, alright, no items, we're just going to play the game how it is. And like, how we're playing right now, we're not playing with items, we're playing on just standard stages, and that's what I want to do right now, just because we're trying to learn the game, and it's easier to learn the game without those distractions as far as that goes. They're very fun, and we might be able to use them, but we want to get a grasp of our characters first. I'm just worried that people might forget. I know that the back room on Smashboards, we're not just instantly banning everything. We're trying to look at it the same way we looked at Melee from fresh start, rather than just being like, we need to ban this because it was bad in Melee.
Going back to the characters, is there one character now that really stands out as being a top tier character?
A lot of people are using Marth. Marth really plays a lot like his Melee counterpart does. He's still got tippers, he's got a little less range, but like, in this game, combos aren't as elaborate. You can't carry on huge strings. There's obviously combos in the game, but the huge strings aren't really there, and Marth seems to be more of an exception to that. He can really combo across the stage really well. He can edge guard well. He just seems to kind of have it all again, just like he did in Melee.
And last question, any disappointing characters? Or is it too early to tell? I think you got that look like, I haven't played the game enough to know, to know yet.
I think it's really too early to be able to tell something like that. I mean, like at first we were like, oh, Snake's not good, like looking at him, and then you kind of figured out, oh, well, you can't play him like you play other characters. You got to be a little campy and, adjust from there. Pikmin is really difficult at first. We just don't know what to do with certain characters. We don't know how to play them best. So that'll just come with through playing. We like, there's no way we can make like a tier list or anything like that, or even like a general tier list. Like, Marth just seems good. I mean, I'm not saying he's the best. He seems good, and other characters seem not as good. All it is seeming right now. Really.
All right. Well, we hope to hear more from you as we get to play the game more.